What's up, weirdos? NextFest has once again smashed open the indie floodgates and drowned us in a sea of hundreds of awesome demos for upcoming games. As I always do, dear viewers, I spent the last week wading through these waters to bring you 5 hidden gems of originality, creativity, and most importantly, weirdness, so that you can obsess over them just as much as I am, which is a completely rational and healthy amount no matter how much my therapist disagrees. Without any further delay, welcome to yet another episode of Demo Dive. We're starting this list off strong with a long-anticipated fever dream of a game I've been dying to get my hands on over the last year. Elation for the Wonderbox 6000 is a claymation adventure game with a plot that's just as wild as its art style, and witty writing that exudes an indescribably surreal manifestation of nostalgia in a bleak consumerist metropolis. Suffering from a severe mental slump that only one specific craving can satisfy, Elation tasks you with hunting down an obscure and underappreciated game from your childhood that nobody remembers, made for a terribly received console that nobody owns. Explore the city, meet and chat with its diverse inhabitants, jam out to an amazing soundtrack from Crisp, gossip about God, and soak your eyes in beautifully unsettling claymation animation. The demo for Elation is shorter than the others on this list, but that small runtime is overflowing with character, originality, and promise for what's to come when the game hopefully releases later this year. I recommend Elation for the Wonderbox 6000 if you're a fan of absurdism, enjoy a slower-paced gaming experience, or suffer from crippling nostalgia for a very specific video game from your childhood. Next up is a title that rips out the gameplay, atmosphere, and slow burn of Silent Hill and stuffs it into a dystopian tech-noir meat suit. Hollowbody is an upcoming third-person survival horror game that drags the player through the mysterious decaying ruins of a futuristic city that's been walled off from the rest of the world. Through your journey to rescue your missing partner, you'll come to find out exactly what dangers were sealed away. A lot of titles recently have called on the influence of classic survival horror games. I've even just recently released a You Should Play for one of them. But one of the strongest aspects of Hollowbody that's hard to get right is the pacing. Even in this demo, this title takes its time to build up the tension and horror of its monsters and environment, not just rushing into throwing monsters at you or screaming jump scares in your ears. What I've played and seen so far has pointed at a game that's confident in its horror, and while the combat felt just a little bit off in the opening section, I'm confident that the seeds of this story will blossom into something you won't want to miss. I recommend Hollowbody if you're obsessed with survival horror like I am, enjoy steadily paced atmospheric horror, or have a soft spot for dystopian near-future narratives. The next entry on this list is a little different from the others, because the full game actually released right before the start of NextFest, and it's the final part of a trilogy of connected games. However, after stumbling upon the demo and trying it for myself, it was impossible not to talk about it. Echostasis is a first-person horror experience that's overloaded with glitchy aesthetics, surreal environments, and a hooking plot that draws you deeper inside with each breadcrumb of cryptic information. Abandoning the idea of a utopia in the real world, an advanced AI system has been created to generate individual digital utopias. However, a virus has been uploaded into the system that threatens everything, and it's your job to dive into the minds of those trapped within this digital dreamscape to bring them back to reality. I can't fully describe just how perfectly Echostasis has nailed its glitchy visual style, and then managed to elevate that dreadful feeling even further with its grand and mysterious plot, even within the confines of a demo. I recommend Echostasis if you're a fan of technology gone wrong plots, love seeing corrupted video game visuals, or have an obsession with analog horror. I'm also excited to announce that I'm working on a set of videos for this trilogy of games right now, so look forward to the first one and subscribe with the little bell icon to be notified when it's finished.
Another case of a missing child in the town of St.
Moving to a completely different retro style, this next game straps the player into a new and nostalgic gaming experience that transcends the boundaries of the CRT screen. Tormenture is a haunting horror puzzle experience that's split between an eerie Atari-inspired adventure game and the dark room it's being played in. Objects in the world around you can be used to manipulate the strange game you're playing to solve puzzles and progress, but be careful because the opposite is also disturbingly true. The demo for Tormenture was very promising as a creepy and smart puzzle-solving game, and the utilization of two separate playing spaces to solve puzzles is always interesting to see. I was also very impressed by the quality of the horror presented in this extremely retro style, reminding me a lot of the graphics from the Faith trilogy. I recommend Tormenture if you're a fan of ancient Atari games, love a good haunted video game premise, or crave more puzzle solving in a similar vein to games like Amanda the Adventurer. Last on our list is a spooky spin on a classic game genre that turns each combat encounter into a tense struggle for life. Tower of Mask is a first-person reimagining of classic tile-based dungeon crawlers that strands the player deep within the dark halls of a deadly labyrinth full of unsettling monsters and unforgiving traps. I found the combat system in this game very unique, blending real-time first-person combat with strategic spacing and maneuvering, using the tile movement system that forces you to think and plan up different strategies depending on the weapons you and your opponent are using. The demo also features interesting physics-based environmental puzzles that require some critical thinking to progress and find secrets. And while that system mainly consisted of pressure plates and spike traps in this demo, those ideas could definitely be expanded on as the game continues to develop. I loved Tower of Mask's slow and tense approach to combat in such tight spaces, and the creepy designs of the monsters I've seen so far make that space feel so much tighter. I recommend Tower of Mask if you're a fan of classic dungeon crawlers, enjoy more methodical and challenging first-person combat, or really want to be spooked by this invisible little monster. Hey, I see you hovering over that next video, but stick around for just a minute longer. Before we go, there were too many interesting games to fit on this list, so I have some honorable mentions to check out for yourselves and add to your wish lists. Threshold. Amanda the Adventurer 2. Reason Unfound. Zero Protocol. Finally, I should mention that a demo I covered in the last demo dive, Pillory, received a major overhaul to its combat mechanics. This one is definitely worth checking out, even if you've played through the demo before, and if you haven't, go play it already. Phew, that was a lot of games. If you liked this video, remember to hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all things weird and spooky, please hit that subscribe button. This is a small channel, so every person makes a huge difference. Do you have any game suggestions, questions, or just want to say hi? Feel free to comment below, join the Discord channel, tune into the live streams, or yell at me on social media. Links for everything are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.